If you have been following this particular platform, you realize that I've been giving you updates about what is really happening at the Ghana-Burkina Faso border. But then it seems like all of these things that we've been talking about, the border crisis, the Ghana's border crisis with Burkina Faso, and even the last time we reported right here on this particular platform that about 17 soldiers who claim that they are from Burkina Faso and then they lost their way. They found themselves in Ghana, and also they were hiding in Ghana's forest, and ultimately Ghana's army moved in so quickly, arrested them, and ultimately deported them back to Burkina Faso. We are learning the weapons and things that they had. It was returned to the Burkina Faso army after both diplomats from countries, both diplomats from all the countries, I'm talking about Burkina Faso diplomats together with Ghanaian diplomats, they actually engaged in talks and realized that, you know what, we will take our men back from Ghana, and also we'll also take their weapons, and also sign basically some sort of understanding or MOU that we will not let our army cross over to your country again. Now, we reported again that just after that particular incident, it was reported that a military aircraft was hovering around Ghana's border with Burkina Faso again. But in this time around, the military aircraft was basically hovering around Paga. Paga is in the northern part of Ghana, and we learned that the commander, together with the youth in that particular area, seized that particular aircraft. And then moment after, we learned that a call came from above, order from above, and the commander who joined the youth in seizing that aircraft, the commander was transferred, the helicopter was given back to the US Marshal, and ultimately the case was closed. So the big question is, what is really happening now? In light of all of these, immediately after this particular military aircraft saga, US military aircraft saga at Paga, we heard the next day we heard that attempted coup d'etat again was going on in Burkina Faso. Now, before I even continue, or before we continue with whatever we have for you today, this particular man on the screens, watch his face very well. This is the man apparently who is in talks with the France government, or the French government, and we are also learning that the United States of America is also planning to do an operation in Burkina Faso. So what we are learning is that they are using Ghana's base. Apparently, hypothetically, we are learning that the United States of America may be just hovering around Ghana's northern part, so that perhaps whatever they want to do in Burkina Faso, perhaps they can get a foothold and do it well. Now, these basically are things that have not been confirmed, so we'll treat all of these things very much with a pinch of salt. But one thing that has been confirmed that very soon we'll be watching videos is the attempted coup d'etat on Ibrahim Traore, and also the government of Ibrahim Traore. Now, we're putting a whole lot of things on the screens, and these things that we're putting on the screens basically will tell us and will also give us more insight as to what really happened, and even the way forward and what is really going on. Now, as we said earlier on, the man on the screens, we are learning that he apparently is the person all this particular coup d'etat which was going on, the French government and also the United States government were trying to influence him, or they influenced him to do this particular coup d'etat. His name, we are learning, is Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba. He is the person apparently who was part of the people who was staging this coup d'etat to oust Burkina Faso's president Ibrahim Traore. So before we even proceed further, we'll be putting this on the screens, and this basically is giving us more angles as to what went on, what is really going on, and even the way forward. Because as we said earlier on, we have videos and pictures of the attempted coup d'etat, which we are now learning is being fought or has been fought after the swift intervention of the Burkina Faso army, and also the citizens said that they will not allow Ibrahim Traore to be deposed. So this is coming from the EEII state, as you can see on the screen. Say failed coup d'etat attempts, or failed coup d'etat in Burkina Faso. Intelligence services have tracked down all conspirators. The audios are starting to come out, and many are already in people's bag. In the recordings, you hear from here, Damiba was clearly planning the destruction of the drones that saved the lives of the FDS in order to carry out their dirty work. He also claims and remains convinced that the population wouldn't dare come out, given a shock it will cause within the army and population. So now the Sahel State, the Association of Sahel States, one of their pages on Facebook, on Twitter, actually announced that this coup d'etat we are hearing that may have gone on, or which happened, which perhaps we'll say which was nearly a successful attempt in Burkina Faso, was being done in conjunction with some people around Burkina Faso's military president Ibrahim Traore and the French government and also the United States government. Now, Bongo Ideas posted this together with the video. He says, "Forget African solidarity. If America wants to capture Ibrahim Traore, he will be covertly airlifted away in split seconds, with citizens having no idea what has happened until some days later. He is not the target." So we are now learning that after all of these things happen, the attempted coup d'etat happened in Burkina Faso. Many are saying that perhaps, looking at the recent engagement or the recent mission that the United States did in Venezuela, it could perhaps it could be said that the United States of America could now be targeting certain Sahel states, and the United States of America will basically say that these states are actually a problem to the national security of the United States of America, or to the security of the United States of America. Now, the Sahel Revolutionary Soldier on X posted, "It's 1 a.m. in Burkina Faso, and Burkinabe have just woken up from their sleep and headed to the presidential palace to see what protection they can offer Captain Ibrahim Traore from the imperial agents seeking to overthrow him. They came out in thousands." So now we are learning that this particular coup d'etat that nearly happened, which was being fought, we are learning that the people, the Burkina Faso or the Burkinabe people, said that they want Ibrahim Traore to lead. The person that they want Ibrahim Traore to lead is the person that they want to lead, or the president that they want to lead Burkina Faso is Captain Ibrahim Traore. Now, we will be putting certain things on the screens because now we have we're putting another video asset from the one of Burkina Faso's national television, announcing what just happened. 48 hours ago, when it was being rumored, or it was being reported that there was an attempted coup d'etat on Burkina Faso's president Ibrahim Traore's life. And now we don't know the linkage between the US, the France, and also the operation that went on in Venezuela. So let's take a listen to this particular video. When we come back, we are hearing that this is the English version. When we come back, we'll be diving more. We have videos, we have pictures, we have certain statements from certain notable people who are of the view that whatever is going on in Burkina Faso, maybe Africa and also Ghana and also everyone should be alarmed, because whatever is going on is a planned attack to make sure that they remove Captain Ibrahim Traore from power.
Teatro Amoro Square became the gathering point for several hundred people from Bobo Dioulasso. Under the leadership of the Citizen Watch OUE section, they came out to resist, according to them, yet another coup attempt, yet another attempt to overthrow the MPSR2 government. Protesters who say not to weaken in their fight to support Captain Ibrahim Traore as well as the entire government. A report by Ismaël Saturn Paris.
For Captain Ibrahim Traore, no hour is too late to call for mobilization, not even at 11 p.m. And it's a strong mobilization of the people of Bobo. On the night of January 3rd, into the early morning of the 4th, at Tifo Amos Square, under the leadership of the group's Civic Vigilance, the protesters are sending a message. No destabilization of the power of their iconic leader tonight.
January 3rd, 2026, we learn with great sadness, with much bitterness, that the enemies of the nation have once again tried to kill us, to halt the triumphant march of the Burkinabe people toward their full sovereignty. And we have come out to remind all those who are clinging to power and who think they can drag us back into the crowd, that they will drag us back into the suffering we are trying to leave behind. The entire Burkinabe people have said no. We do not agree, and we condemn with all our might any attempt to destabilize the people's power, which is that of the MPSRB, under the inspired leadership of Comrade Captain Ibrahim Traore.
The false gravediggers have organized themselves once again. After witnessing several failed attempts, they have armed themselves with courage. Once again, they sought to orchestrate another audacious coup d'etat, which was bravely and skillfully foiled by truly capable and dedicated men. Because when Captain Ibrahim Traore arrived, it was told to the people of the whole world that he surrounded himself with capable men to save Burkina Faso. These men swore, together with the people of Burkina Faso, that Captain Ibrahim Traore is the apple of our eye. Today, the coup d'etat was successfully foiled. We turned out in large numbers. We are currently right at the square. For citizen vigilance, the actions of the MPSR2 are tangible. Burkina Faso is on a positive path of development, and we must stay the course against all odds.
I don't know how anyone could be against this man who has given everything for this country. You have to see the development that has been underway for the past 2 to 3 years. So, yes, young people of Burkina Faso, this is what we say to them. Damn.
We simply made a call to this youth, a youth that is aware.
That's one part of the report which is coming in. Now let's put this on the screens. It says it's 1 a.m. in Burkina Faso, and Burkinabes have woken up from their sleep and headed to the presidential palace to see the protection they can offer Captain Ibrahim Traore. Now this is just one of the many posts which is coming from Burkina Faso. Immediately that aircraft was spotted around Ghana's border. The next thing we heard was, the US aircraft was spotted between Ghana and Burkina Faso's border. The next thing we heard was an attempted coup d'etat which was fought. Again, the Sahel Revolutionary Soldier posted, the objective in the coup attempt in Burkina Faso last night was clear: to strike the heart of power, physically eliminate Captain Ibrahim Traore and 11 of his loyal companions, and then plunge the country into chaos. Before then, the narrow circle of present security system has not betrayed the cause of the people. Their competent and rigorous intelligence made the operation a failure. Commander Umo Yabre faithful to his mission. So this is just one of the things, or one of the posts which is coming in, which kind of suggests that whatever is really going on is something that the people of Burkina Faso said, we don't want you to oust this leader, we want him to be our president, and that is Captain Ibrahim Traore. Now let's also put this on the screens again. It says the imperialists plan to do a Venezuela part 2 in Burkina Faso yesterday. So we are learning that what the United States of America successfully did in Venezuela, captured its president, sent the president to the United States of America to face justice. France also wants to replicate that by also arresting Ibrahim Traore, taking him to France, and also, kind of running the country back. Now, it goes on to say this was organized by the previous failed leader, Paul-Henri Damiba, and his imperialist master. The plan was similar to the one they executed under Sankara to kill all the inner circle of Ibrahim Traore. Needless to say, the plans failed miserably. The Burkinabe people were having none of it, and the authors were all arrested. So we are learning that the people who kind of staged this particular coup d'etat which was being fought, all of them have been arrested. As we were telling you earlier, the man at the center of this particular coup d'etat is this particular man, Damiba. We'll be getting into more details about him shortly. We got into more details. We also touch on him briefly. Now let's also move on to what many of the posts which is coming about this particular reported coup d'etat in Burkina Faso. It says here, major updates. Reports confirm a coup d'etat has been decisively thwarted. The alleged mastermind and known associate of former President Damiba has been arrested. This action demonstrates the strength and vigilance of our security forces. Stability and sovereignty remain intact. Our support remains with President and the people of Burkina Faso. So this is exactly what we are learning. So the man on the far, left of the screens, he apparently is the person who led this coup d'etat, and ultimately it was being forward. And we are learning that the people that he was planning this particular coup d'etat with, all of them have been arrested. So it is a very tricky thing, and in the midst of all of these issues which is going on around the world, the president of Venezuela, his arrest, and issues going on, everyone is kind of on edge, because it could be your country's president, especially if the West, talking about Europe, China, Europe, America, and also the UK, if they say, or they are continuing spilling the narrative that you are a threat to our national security, what it means is that ultimately they will come for you. So this perhaps is just one of the many things which is really going on, and then we are looking into this case closely to see what will happen, or perhaps the way forward, because as it is now, almost all presidents in various nationalities, all of them are on edge, because the military prowess of the United States of America cannot be matched. So if you can't beat them, or if you can't match them, then it means if they are coming for you, you tend to be helpless, and that is exactly what is really going on. So we are following all of these cases, we are monitoring events, and ultimately we'll be giving you more updates as all of these various events continue to unfold. You can also bring in your comments, be reading your comments. Those of you who are just joining us, the breaking news, or the news which is coming in since yesterday, indicates that there has been an attempted coup d'etat in Burkina Faso, but ultimately this coup d'etat has been fought, and what we are learning is that the people behind it have all been arrested. So that is exactly what is really going on in terms of Burkina Faso, and even the way forward.